Hello everyone, it's DuckFan07. Today we are playing RAKDOS Burn Brew, but this one is very different from what you're used to seeing in usual burn decks. So this one is heavily focused around Delirium and Dreadhorde Arcanist. Boltwave and Arena of Glory enabled, Boltwave is from Foundations and Arena of Glory is a little before that. They enabled this deck that plays all the mana burn spells that exist. So I went for black to include Bump in the Night as additional 1 mana burn spell that deals 3, and we also got Nethergoyf by going black and a lot of sideboard cards. Okay, so Dreadhorde Arcanist is very strong in this deck. Imagine starting the game with Lava Spike, Boltwave, Bolt Face or whatever, and then going Arena of Glory turn 2, haste your Arcanist immediately, exile a spell from the yard, deal 3 face, attack for 1, and from then until the rest of the game, Arcanist is dealing like 3 damage every time it attacks. It's really strong. And 4 Arena of Glories means you will be able to haste it frequently. Also, Arena works well with Fear and works well with Deckenary Channeler as well as with Escaped Nethergoyf. Okay, Starfire's additional 1 mana burn spell in this deck that work well with the deck because it's a burn spell, it can go phase, and it enables Delirium for Deckenary Channeler and Fear of Missing Out, and it also works with Dreadhorde Arcanist. Okay, so that is it. Very simple, lot of aggressive 1 mana creatures and a lot of burn to the face. So we went black because of the sideboard. So we got Surgical Extraction, Fatal Push to kill problematic creatures, Thoughtseize to discard problematic cards, Damping Sphere for the lands that give 2 mana, and also Storm, which is very popular right now. Pyroclasm to deal with energy going wide, and Smash the Smithereens to mainly to kill Chalice of the Void. I think we could possibly go like Nihil Spellbomb instead of Surgical, and because Nihil Spellbomb is good against a Storm, then we would be able to remove 1 Damping Sphere from the side to add either like 3rd Spellbomb if you need it, or 3rd Fatal Push, or 3rd Thoughtseize, whatever piece you need most in your metagame. Okay, so for main deck, well, if you want to add something, I would think about like maybe adding 4th Starfire or 3rd Fear of Missing Out, but kind of all slots are very simple, very good looking. I'm happiest with the list looking like this, but some small changes like removing 1 burn spell definitely won't hurt you that much. If I would remove burn spell, I would go with the black one. It's easier to get red mana in this deck. Okay, so that is it. Arena of Glory are very good in this deck. Sometimes you can... It hurts when you draw 2 as your only lands, but that won't happen that frequently. Okay, so that is it. Let's now go check out the gameplay. Okay, so this was match 1, so let's check out that. And yeah, I played only 1 league with this deck, didn't have time for more, but it felt pretty good. I'm super excited about this one, and I'll definitely be playing it more. So I started with Monastery Spear in this situation. Monastery Spear is a more aggressive piece. This allows me to do more damage over the first 2-3 turns. Okay, so turn 2 I go for Deckenary Channeler and Bump into Night, 3 face, attack for 2. My opponent is already on 14. Okay, so I draw another burn spell which I left on top with Surveilling last turn. So now turn 3 I go Lava Spike, 3 face, Bolt Wave, another 3 face, Surveilling, trying to get Delirium. And now I go Starfire. Put another Starfire on top, so I have lethal next turn and my opponent is down on 1 life. So they are now able to go for Devourer, kill both of my creatures, but that doesn't matter. I have Starfire on top. And this was the game where my opponent didn't lose a single life on its own. So yeah, that was pretty good. Okay, so a turn, almost a turn 3 kill, but finished opponent on 1 life on turn 4. Okay, so let's check out game 2. This deck is super aggressive, and yes, sometimes you will have to start with Arena of Glory like this, which is unfortunate. But yeah, Arena of Glory is just super good, and this was a risky keep, so it's not really representative keep, because I would not recommend keeping one landers like this. So it's really definitely not a representative keep. I was risking, and my opponent played early Trinisphere. Don't have a chance in this deck. And the Trinisphere is also a problem for reason to play Smash to Smithereens. As you see, I didn't include it. I forgot to include Smash in this league, so that was a potential problem for me. I realized it immediately in the first match when I played against Trinisphere. I said, "Oh my God, I don't have Smash," and it costed me. The trophy in the game I lost. We'll see that in the end. Okay, so let's check out game 3, but luckily enough, I ended up not needing Smash that much. Again, a one-lander. You can see this time I mulliganed, and I kept a one-lander here. Started off with Monastery Swiftspear, Misha Bubble, hitting for 2, and passing the turn. So hoping to get a land at this point to play Dreadhorde Arcanist. But yeah, getting a land, surveilling, and going for Thoughtseize is not bad, not bad either. Okay, so I removed Michael's Pen for opponent's hand. They also had another Utopia Sprawl. They had I also exiled Beaker of Creations. That was cool. Okay, so I went for a double attack with Swiftspear here, played the Dreadhorde Arcanist. So Dreadhorde Arcanist next turn can copy the Thoughtseize from the graveyard, which pumps my Swiftspear. And if I get another burn spell, I'm pretty close to lethal here. Okay, so opponent plays Michael's Pen here, and they have to kill their Eldrazi spawn token to play this guy. So I find Bolt to kill Michael's Pen and copy the Bolt from the yard, and that is more than enough damage to do lethal here on turn 5. So Thoughtseizes did super good job against Eldrazi, and it's my favorite card to beat them. Okay, so that is it. That is the entire match against Eldrazi's. So let's now check out match 2. Some pretty quick games here. As I said, and forgot that include the Smash to Smithereens. I think that's important piece to deal with some matchups, especially Chalice of the Void and Trinisphere. It's very hard to play with those, and now we will see just how strong Dreadhorde Arcanist is. It's just super good in situations like this. Now just haste this guy on turn 2 and it immediately starts copying the lava spikes. It's super good. I just can't describe how good it feels to just have the thing every turn. It's amazing. So my Goyf was pretty small back here and I didn't have mana. So I think my best bet was just continue attacking with Arcanist. Of course, it won't always be ideal for a situation for Goyf in this deck when you're exiling spells like this for Arcanist, but it rarely happens that you're not able to support both. And we can see here I have a kill from my hand, and but I also have Arcanist doing 3 additional damage, so I go for bump into the Knight and finish off my opponent. That is the game and the match. Okay, so very quick wins against Mono Blue Belcher. So this deck can easily kill them before they try to do their combo thing. Okay, so this hand is pretty decent, and we will now see in this game how Nethergoyf plus Arcanist work. As I said before, sometimes it will not be the easiest to support both, but Goyf is, even when you have Arcanist, Goyf is still... I was thinking here, do I play like another Nethergoyf or go for a burn spell? I decided it's best for me here to go for a burn spell last turn. I decided that's the maximum damage. So here I go for attack, exile the bolt from my graveyard. I decide to kill the Hedron Crab. So I was afraid of their 3 mana exile spell. And yeah, they went Archive Trap. And now they went, yeah, I was afraid of this. So if I didn't kill the Hedron Crab, I was left with 6 cards in my library. So if I didn't kill that, I could potentially lose to the Tasha. So yeah, I think that was a better decision. And now, yeah, my opponent just dies next turn, so that was a win in game 1 against Mill. But it's an interesting game, this matchup, but this deck is super fast. I think it's in advantage when playing against Mill. Okay, so I decided to mull that starting hand. Nethergoyf is pretty good against them. They're milling me, and my Goyf will always be like really big against them. I want to use my fetches as soon as possible. Opponent goes for Hedron Crab. Makes my Goyf a 3-4. So I go for a Monastery Swiftspear here. Bolt Phase, Mishra Bubble, pump my Swiftspear even more. And attack for a 7 damage here. That is a lot on turn 2. That is truly a lot of damage. On turn 2, my opponent is already on 8. And now they go Archive Trap, make my Nethergoyf really big. But they find Tasha Hideous Laughter. That card is the best against me. And yeah, they remove all my library with it. It's, yeah, they can really race me well with this card. It's super strong, and we had to go settle this in game 3. So let's check out game 3. Okay, so this hand is pretty good. I really like Goyf, starting with Goyf against them. And as I said, I really want to use a fetch as soon as possible. Now I have a 3 lands. I don't have to fetch anymore, and you can see me here going Totsis, removing and snaring bridge, since I forgot the smash to smithereens, so I can't really deal with this otherwise. My opponent plays push on Goyf, and I go Channeler, bump into Knight, face, Bolt Face, pump my Swiftspear here. They go for another Surveil. That won't be enough in this game, and yeah, I tuck them down to 4 alive already. And my opponent plays the Ruin Crab, and but I find a Bolt for lethal, and that is the game. Okay, so that is it. A quick win in game 3 against Mill. So that was the match against Mill. Let's check out another match. And we will check out defeat in the end. As you can see, super quick games with this deck. I was over in like hour and a half, the entire league, I think. Okay, so finding a land here was super sweet. I decided again to start off with Channeler. I think that is the maximum damage, and you can see me going for yeah. I was truly hoping to hit Delirium here. It would be super strong turn to hit Delirium in a situation like this. Okay, so I go for a Channeler and then Bolt Face. This is turn 3, my Channelers are delirious. This is the power of Arena of Glory. It's like super good, and my opponent was left on 1 life, and that was the reason why I was able to win. They weren't able to use their RAL, so they tried to go for the combo, but because of not being able to risk losing life with RAL, and they were left short of 1 spell to grape shot me for lethal. Yeah, very close by opponent, and we are both left on 1 life. That is actually pretty funny. Both left on 1 life, but I untap on 1 life and this game kill my opponent. That is it. Okay, so let's check out game 2. I have 3 damping spheres. in the sideboard, if you remember, my surgicals don't work well against them, so I didn't board that in, only the damping spheres. And Tarfire doesn't kill Ral, so I just trim Tarfires down to 1, only for Delirium purposes. As you can see me here, I had 2 damping spheres on in this game, and I thought like this game is over. But it didn't line up perfectly for me here. Yeah, I should have went like Bump into Night on my turn, then Bolt Ral on their turn. Yeah, I didn't play that perfectly here maybe. And I decided to go for the Damping Sphere here, so I was in such a good situation. And it was very hard for my opponent to do much. And yeah, they find Ruby Medallion and they went for Ral. And again, I don't know why I do this. I did a big mistake here, so I should have gone like Totsis on my turn, bolt them on on their upkeep. So that was a big mistake, and but I'm not sure why I did the way I did it. I think I just wanted to do Totsis first, and then I went automatically for bolt and just completely forgot that I need to do it the other way around. Okay, so here I go for Bump into Night phase, put them down on 4 life, attack with everything, Monastery Swift Spear and fetch, they go down to 1 again. But this time they're able to pass in flames, prismatic ending, my second damping sphere, and find a win. In the end. Yeah, but I should have played this better. So it was mostly my fault. It ended up like this. Okay, so we settled this in game 3. I have a decent start, a Monastery Swift Spear with Mishra Bubble hitting for 2 on turn 1, and then a double Lava Spike on turn 2 is pretty sweet as well. Okay, so I go for Channeler first, do the Surveil here, hit them for a 5 this turn, leave another burn spell on top. So I can go, next turn I can go Surveil and double burn. That is pretty good. And that I hit Delirium with Channeler with double burn spell. That is exactly lethal damage, 12 damage here with Channeler and Swift Spear attacking. So for another turn 3 kill, that is always feels super amazing. And all those burn spells costing 1 mana make deck very aggressive. Make Dreadhorde Arcanist pretty brutal in the deck, as you could see in the previous leagues. Okay, so that is it. That is the match against my Storm opponent. So now we will check out the only game I lost in this league. It was against, believe it or not, Lantern Control. Lantern Control was pretty good in this. And unfortunately, I didn't have Smash to Smithereens in my sideboard. Smash would be pretty good, and I truly did not expect this for Pitting Needle to lock both of my lands. This was the play that won them the game. Just Pitting Needle, check out my hand on turn 1 with Totsis, see my double Bloodstained Mire and Pitting Needle, the Bloodstained Mire, that was extremely good for the opponent. And now I was also locked out of the black mana, so I was not able to play a Bump into Night from my hand. My opponent also now plays the Ensnaring Bridge and Totsis the Bump from my hand. I can't play black spells. I can't use the Bloodstained Mires to Surveil, so now Lantern of Insight plus Codex Shredder lock me out of the game. I stayed in the game because I have Bump into Night in the graveyard. It has flashback, so potentially if I get to 6 mana I can flashback this, but it didn't go well for me. It didn't go well, so opponent has the Ensnaring Bridge and I can't attack efficiently here. And Also, I'm also not getting the lands I need. Opponent was able to control my top pretty good, and I only got creatures that can't attack, and they removed burn spells from my library. So now I got fear of missing out. Um, Only to draw another Swiss Spear, so it wasn't really a spell I needed, but slowly I got up on lands, so I got the 4th land, I got the 5th land later, but I was not able to get the 6th one to flashback these bump into knights. And eventually opponent finds they find what is it called, the Underworld Cookbook with their Urza Saga, and then they were able to start gaining life, locking me completely out of the chances to do something. Like, I have 5 lands now, and if they brick with the Codex Shredders and I find like a burn spell on top, or I find another land on top, I can potentially win this game. I have 2 bump into knights in my graveyard, but opponent is able to like very cleanly control my top, and that wasn't the problem for them, so that was it. Okay, so that was game 1, so let's check out game 2. It was a pretty cool game where my Lantern control opponent was able to lock me out, and then the thing I was talking about happened to me here. I draw into double Arena of Glory. It's like really awkward, but it was also mulligan to 5. And my opponent also discards my Dreadhorde Arcanist here, which was like the best card in my hand, especially since I had Arena of Glory. Opponent had a pretty good hand, I would say, like Inquisition into Ancient Styx hitting the Nihil Spell Bomb, but still I have a decent chance here. My opponent plays a Lantern plus double Pyrex. I go Lava Spike them face, attack for 2, put them down on 7. They don't have Codex Shredder at this point, but they can use Pyrex to remove both cards from top of the library. Okay, so now I have Lightning Bolt and potentially lethal with Arena of Glory here, but opponent finds Ensnaring Bridge again, so they are able to, they have 0 cards in hand, which means I can't attack anymore with creatures. This is a big problem. Again, they find Pitting Needle naming Bloodstained Mire. Again, it interferes with my ability to find a black mana, and now they also find Underworld Cookbook, and similar to last game, opponent locks me out again, and I was not able to I didn't have, as I said, I didn't have Smash to Smithereens in my sideboard. I didn't have any real good cards against my opponent, so that was a big problem for me in this matchup. I just didn't have anything I could do except draw timely Totsies, and yeah, so I had to concede this one. At this point, my opponent was gaining too much life, so I conceded the match, and that was it. Okay, so that were all 5 matches from this league. Very fast league, super clean games where you just go everything face, and by turn 4 you're either done or you lose. And Dreadhorde Arcanist is super good in this deck with Arena of Glory and all the burn spells costing one mana, and this means you will always have stuff to recast from Arcanist. This is very important, even if you had like 6 or 7 spells that don't cost what mana. I think for this deck that would be a problem. Okay, also kind of flex slots in this build are kind of the probably like 2 fears of missing out, and like maybe 1 or 2 burn spells, maybe like a 4th bump into night, and in that slots you could like add a 3rd fear of missing out or something completely different. But I like it personally most like this. I was considering removing 1 Arena of Glory for an other land, but it's just feels very good when you have Arena of Glory, as you saw in those games when I was able to haste the Channeler or Arcanist or FOMO. It's just really good. And the other option, as I explained before, is replacing extractions with Nihil Spellbombs. I think that is what I would like to do. So replace the extractions, put Nihil Spellbombs in, and then you can do something like this. Just put like 3 spell bombs, remove the extractions, and now we can afford to either remove 1 damping sphere, because Nihil spell bomb is also great against Storm, and now you can afford to either add 3rd Nihil Spellbomb to the deck, or 3rd Fatal Push, 4th Thoughtseize, or 3rd Pyroclasm, or 3rd Smash to Smithereens, whatever you need the most. Of course, you can always remove the Giganta from your sideboard, but Giganta is so much better with Arena of Glory, and on turn 5 you can haste this 5/5 creature, and it's really good when you do that. So I really like having it here, and that's it. Okay, so thank you for watching. Truly super excited about this RAKDOS Burn version of Boltwave and Arena of Glory, both with Arcanist, enabling this super fast, exciting build. Okay, so that is it. Again, thank you for watching. Friendly reminder to click like, click subscribe, write down in the comments how do you feel about this version of Burn compared to the regular Burn and compared to other RAKDOS Delirium builds. Okay, so that is it. Goodbye.